comes.
Pretty big. You good?
I think I'm good.
We're on a camping trip and hope to do some fishing today, but right now I'm checking out a location that might have chert and flint that I could use to make some stone tools. So I just came on this trail here, past these really huge cliffs, and there is some chert up here. Small pieces. That piece isn't so good. Looks like there's just a little bit right in this area. Little tiny things. Gray. Cool. Check this out. See little shells?
I'm just gonna push this a little bit further and see what's down here before we head out. Tiny bits of chert in the gravel. And this is a crazy gorge. That is awesome. Not really seeing too much chert at all. Just some mixed in with the gravel and out of reach. Thanks.
So I was looking at the stuff that was right here.
Yep.
And somebody's recently been hitting on this. There's copper mark right there. I don't know if you could see it. Somebody's been hitting this with a copper rod. There's a few pieces, but I don't really see where it's coming from. Might be under all this stuff.
I'm gonna see if I can get out there and show you the waterfall. Just gonna scan the other side for chert. Possibly there. What do you guys think? Should we rappel down from there to go see?
Somebody told me there's an outcrop of flint up here, and it should look like something like that little hill with the rock coming out, but that's really covered over there. Hard to see in there, and I don't really want to crawl through there right now, but there is flint here. I mean, somebody was whacking it recently, but it should look like that. It's probably over there somewhere, but there's crazy cliffs right here.
Oh my god, the chipmunk.
Chipmunk almost fell.
Oh my god, the chipmunk.
Chipmunk almost fell.
Whoa, dude, be careful.
He's hyperventilating.
I bet he is. You're okay, dude.
Come on.
Here, let me get out of your way. No,
No,
don't go that way. Oh my God, he jumped again.
Where is he? Is he okay? Get on the freaking ground, dude. So that cliff is like straight down for hundreds of feet. Where that chipmunk almost fell. Maybe you could see right here. There's rock face going straight down. Here's more. This is just laying in the trail here. So I need to correct something. Usually I say chert because that's the correct term for this stuff. But for the video, I'm gonna say flint so that the algorithm picks up that looking for flint. But it's chert.
But it's flint. But it's chert. But it's flint. But it's chert.
Just because I get so many comments saying it's not flint, it's chert. It's like, I know. So right here, there's a dip in the ground, and there is a line of chert outcrops this way. So this might be an old quarry pit. Looks very similar to the ones at Flint Ridge State Park, where they're dipped in the ground like that, where they were trying to pull out the flint. I don't know though. I don't see any leftover rock, but that's really interesting to me. Alright, so didn't find too much down here. Not really seeing an outcrop or anything. I walked down that way some and it's just shale limestone. That way is a dead end and I'm not seeing it. So I think I'm just gonna head back to where I was camping. Still just relaxing. I haven't started the Flint trip yet. But yeah, if somebody's watching and they nap this stuff in here, let me know where it is exactly. It's probably in that brush. But yeah, let me know. I found one more piece of flint in that thing. Alright, so we saw Crazy Gorge back that way, right there, and some huge cliffs. Saw a chipmunk almost fall. Regarding the stone tools, I don't have just an interest in stone tools. I also have an interest in what were the stone tools used for, say 12,000 years ago, and what were they what were they using the stone tools on specifically? What kind of animals? What kind of plants? What were they using the stone tools for? Right. But there's also, what were they eating? What were they living like? And what was life like back then? It's all very blurry to me. I could picture it, but there's no clear answers in what it was like. I've come to some of my own conclusions on reasons certain arrowheads or spear points were shaped certain ways, or how they were hafted, what they were hafted to, say bone or wood, how these weapons and tools were used, perhaps for even kind of deadfall traps with spear points on them would work. And a good example of that, of somebody using that technology, is Sean Woods did a mouse trap. So he used the Spanish windlass with a arrowhead or a spear point tied onto this trap, and it very quickly killed the critter. So that got me thinking a little bit. Were these all projectile points? Probably not. A lot of them might have been even tied to, like, like if you walk past a tree and there's a trigger for the tree to come flying out and have these projectile points or spear points on them or in them, like right directly into the tree branch. And then the tree branch swings and hits the animal. I've been wondering about that. I've also been wondering how many of these even smaller projectile points were actually knives. Because from my experimentation, these smaller knives or medium-sized knives work way better than bigger knives. The bigger knives are nice to look at and all, but they're a little unwieldy. They don't feel as good as like a modern butcher's knife. If you're holding something the same size made out of stone, it just don't feel right. And if it don't feel right, it's probably not right. So I've been going through some different artifact books and certain things online, just looking through different artifacts, reading, looking at the measurements and the sizes, and to see if there's been any protein analysis. Protein analysis is, let's say 10,000 years ago, somebody threw a spear into a camel and then proceeded to kill a mouse with it, with the same point. That protein will soak into the stone, into little crevices in the stone, and then 12,000, 10,000, whatever years later, when they do a protein analysis on it, they'll be able to tell what animal that projectile point killed, or at blood and tissue on that point or knife. So I find that really interesting. Some of the other things that I wanted to get into was the modern points compared to prehistoric points, or not prehistoric, but points that were being used, points that were being utilized. They look a lot different than the modern points. To me, it looks like a lot of the artifacts were made with indirect antler, and they didn't care so much about how pretty it looked, or if it was flaked equally, or even if the sides were even. They didn't really seem to care on, say, 90% of the artifacts that I have seen. And then you get into maybe late Paleo-Indian, and some of those points look very much so like how people make these modern points, with the extremely precise parallel flaking going up and down the whole piece. Very, very lance-like, very long. And I really don't know why they would have done that, besides to show skill and status. Maybe it might have been, artwork. But I don't know that much is known about that culture at all. So that's one of the things that I try to figure when I'm looking at these points, is I'm looking at lost cultures. And I want to understand these cultures that have disappeared thousands of years ago. And the same thing, when I'm, like, if I go to an extremely historic site, like, say, Morrow Mountain, and you see the quarry debitage everywhere, like, you just see rhyolite everywhere, and it's like, how many people were up here quarrying? What were they using to quarry, and why did they leave all of these tools? All of these are tools. They all have little microflakes on them. They were all used to cut things or scrape things, and it's very curious. Like, maybe they stayed there for a week quarrying, and in the meantime, they were using the tools from there to make their tents from hides, or to make their clothes from hides, while they're occupying the location and quarrying. And that would make sense, but it's so much. It's so hard to comprehend how many people did this over 12,000 years. Over a period of 12,000 years, how many people were up there quarrying for their tools, to make their clothes, to go hunting, to whatever they needed that rock for. a lot of knappers, you know, they make the points, but they never test them, or they make the tools and never test them. And I really do enjoy testing these materials, such as hide scrapers or drills or knives or flake knives, or, you know, whatever artifact that I could replicate. So in experimenting with all of this, and, you know, going to these creeks and rivers and collecting flint and then trying to replicate the things found is very very intense for me when I do it, when I'm there. It's just, I feel a strong connection to the past whenever I do it. And I often just try to imagine the scene. Like, if you think, in this spot, somebody was here 12,000 years ago, probably with their family. Maybe they just finished hunting a camel, because we had camels here 12,000 years ago. Maybe they finished hunting a camel and they were, you know, cooking camel over the fire, and maybe the other two guys down there were fishing with spears. And I just really, I really like to imagine it. I really like to picture it. And in doing that, I feel like I gain some insight into these locations. And as well as studying the landscape itself and being like, where would be the best place to camp? Probably right here, because this is where I would camp. And me being out in the wilderness as much as I am, I feel I have a better idea of where people might have camped, or where good hunting grounds are, especially if the game is still there. Like, that's a good giveaway of where people might have hunted. I love using the stone tools, but I also love thinking about the stone tools and thinking about these lost cultures. I go through, you know, books like, there's one place in Pennsylvania called the Shawnee Mini Sink site. And whenever I'm in that area, I always stop by there. And last time I tried fishing a little bit, I didn't catch anything, but I am going to go back there. I love the area. I love the rivers all around there, and the Delaware River is right there. And it's just a really beautiful place. And there's not too many places like that. So I was not surprised to hear that there was a very ancient site there. And I think one of the paths forward on finding more of these extremely ancient sites is to think, where would I personally camp? Where would I personally fish? Where would I personally hunt? As long as the river hasn't changed its course, which a lot of these rivers do. They change course over time and they meander, and where the river is now is not where it was 12,000 years ago, in some cases. In some cases, it's still exactly the same as it was 12,000 years ago. So anyway, I am going to actually be going through some of these books and just giving some insight. I'm not going to do that in this video, and I just want to see what you guys think about all of this. And I would really like your input on what you think about these stone tools and these ancient sites and these lost cultures. That is the most important to me, is the lost cultures and trying to understand the lost cultures. So anyway, I'll keep it short. That's I don't know, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 minute video maybe. And I'm going to splice in some stuff so you guys could see what I'm talking about. But I thought you would appreciate my thoughts on this, and I would appreciate your guys' thoughts on this. So if you could chime in the comments and tell me stories, tell me things that you have discovered yourself, tell me things that you think are important for this field of work, and just let me know what you overall think. And if you have any insight into these older sites, or even the stone tools, just let me know, and I'd really appreciate your input. So I think I'm going to show you guys just some of what I know and some of what goes into these videos, and some of what goes into the research behind finding places that I find, and maybe that will help you guys find, you know, a lithic material that you could work and that you could experiment with yourself in your local area. So I will be getting into all of that, and maybe I'll bring up some geology maps and show you where some stuff might be in the country, and you guys can go creek crawling and look for these rocks, jasper, agate, flint, chert, and look for it all yourself, which I think is the goal here. So, all right, guys, that's it for me. I'm done rambling. You guys have a good one, and I will see you soon. See you guys soon. See ya. And I guess that's it for here. Nope. So it's a year later, and that anarchist heron is still here. He still doesn't give a crud about human rules. There's an anarchist beaver there too. Yeah, I've learned my lesson about sticking my head in caves in the middle of nowhere. I was reading some of the pamphlets on what to do if the bear is aggressive. The thing it said was, don't toss it food. This will create future problems. I'm pretty sure if you're being mauled by a bear, you're not going to be concerned about causing future problems. I'm not an expert on bears, but I'm pretty sure that if a bear attacked me and I had a banana in my hand, I would throw the banana. I'm just kidding. I don't want to read in the newspaper that somebody threw a bear at a banana and got murdered. Throw a banana at a bear and got and got murdered. Don't throw a bear at a banana. That won't. Do we have bananas? So it started raining at the campsite, and they actually closed the whole lake with electric storm warnings. They told everybody to take shelter. So I was like, screw that, I'm gonna go look for flint at the creek. So we're at the creek. You can see it from here.
How about this thing? Is that limestone?
Limestone. Right, I remember it was just like this here.
Yeah, just in the cobbles.
Yeah.
There's some. Have you tried did you crack into this?
No, I'll try it. Need a hammerstone though.
Hammerstone. Hammerstone. Little guy? There you go. There you go.
This is like concrete. I can
Is it?
feel it's like concrete.
How do you know where to approach, like, to get in?
Look for something that's hanging off and see if you could knock that off. I don't think I'm going to be able to on this because it's just...
It looks very dense.
I mean, it's concrete. Let's split the hammerstone. Look what it's doing to it. Called it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Not worth it? No.
It's just such a small vein going through it. The rest of the rock is impossible. So in this big rock here, the light gray is limestone. You can see those little nodules sticking out, the shiny ones. That's flint. So there's two veins in that limestone. One is darker, it's very weathered, and the other one is actually not good flint at all. The lighter, dull color, it's very dull. See how the black is shinier than the gray? The black is better than the gray. If you see the really dull flint, it's not so great. So on my previous flint trip, this is one of the first places I stopped where I found the Esopus. And one of the things I wanted to say about this is if you revisit a place like a creek or a river or anywhere that's moving water, it's constantly turning over rocks and moving things downstream, so it's always going to be different every time you come back. So it's just always worth, wherever you're at, if you see some in a river, keep checking back. More gets brought downstream and rolled over, and it's always changing. So. It'd be harder to see with this mud on top of everything.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to find some stuff here. I mean, I found a little bit small, and the lightning's starting to come in, so I'm gonna get out of here. See how long the storm lasts. Maybe we could get back out today for a little bit. But I'm not seeing a whole lot here. I mean, it's really tiny to begin with. There's the rain. Wow. So the weather can't really decide what the heck it's doing. So I brought my rod down here. I'm in a different creek. It's gonna just try fishing a little bit. Maybe look for some stuff along here. I got one. Got a fish. A little guy. What is it? Little smallmouth? Okay.
This chart over here. Yes. And this.
Okay.
Not sure. There's more. Huh. So that's some. There's some. There's some.
It's nice out even though it's drizzling.
And the rain is back. Here it comes. It's just tumbling out into this riverbed. Here comes two more.
Out of the wall here.
Yeah. I don't know if I can get up there. Alright, here it comes.
Pretty big. Let's take that piece. You okay up there?
I'm good.
Can you get down? You good?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Show off your prize. Looks pretty good. Looks good to me.
Yeah, I knew this one was supposed to be a good one.
Good job, Leah. Look at that. Look at that. That's flint. Not sure what kind of flint. Huh. Cool. Good job. You did it.
I'm a mess.
Yep, that's flint.
Seems pretty hard.
It's tough flint, but it's flint.
Found a good few pieces, I think.
That's also flint. This is definitely flint. I'm not going to test that. Yep, flint.
Oh wow. I mean, it's got some damage in there, but...
Yeah. Take that. So, we'll take these then. These two are a no-go. Look at that. Still haven't started the flint trip yet.
Caught two fish.
Yeah.
Caught Caught some flint.
Try a little more.
While he's fishing, I'm gonna keep looking. It's like a treasure hunt. It's gonna be hard to see anything because it's all covered in mud. Can't tell if it's limestone. So that was not Chert, but this looks like it might be. Let's take a look. Looks Cherty. It's pretty smooth. It's a big old maybe. Probably. I'm looking. Not really seeing too many things. A lot of limestone. That's about it. It's a really pretty creek bed though. So, I'm gonna go a little bit further, and if I see anything good, I'll let you know. Man, it is peaceful here. So how you doing?
Got a few more little nibbles, but nothing's really biting anymore. Really pretty though. The sun came out. What kind is that? Same kind? Did you test it?
No. That is for you to test.
Okay. I'll test it. Test this piece Leah found. I do not know. It looks like the other stuff, but it's hard to tell when it's this color. Flint. Black flint. Look at that. Leah found awesome flint. Good job, Leah.
Right.
Oh man, look at that though.
It's a good flake.
It's a little knife. Cool.
It's so pretty here.
Yeah. I'll put this in with the others. Look at that though, jeez. What is this? Smells like mud. There you go. There's even a rainbow here with a bird flying past it. I really love this place. Wow. My hook got snagged. I lost it, so I'm gonna head out of here, but we found one more piece of chert here. Let's see, I'll show you. Come on. Wow. It's definitely chert. She's tough. There we go. Cool. All right, heading out. So, still not on a flint trip, but I got like a giant bag of flint. Okay, head to the car. So I was looking around, well, I guess because I was distracted because I was fishing, but I wasn't seeing any flint, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's in the wall! And you're up on the wall, like a monkey, kicking the thing and digging it with a stick, and then you throw this giant chunk of pure black chert flint at me. And I'm like, what?
So what are you reading?
I think this is the book where Dennis Stanford butchered the elephant with stone tools. Not sure yet though, but I think it is.
Is that where they were trying to test out the stone tools to see how they worked on mammoth?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they were using an elephant instead of a mammoth. So I'm looking in this book here, and it's showing end scrapers, which are, they were used to scrape wood, bone, and hides. Now I used in my chipmunk skinning video, to turn a chipmunk into a fur. I used a small one on the chipmunk too, to scrape the fat off and to make sure that there's nothing that will rot on the skin before you tan it. I've not made one of these on camera yet. I would like to film making an end scraper. You know, usually I do the arrowheads and the spear points, but I would like to get into the other stone tools and the other primitive technologies that was used by people for 12,000, 13,000 years.
So you mentioned experimental archaeology, which is what they were doing when they cut up the elephant using stone tools.
Mm-hmm.
And why would they do that?
When you do an experimental archaeology, you're experimenting and trying to find out what these, because when you find these tools, all that you find is the stone. You don't find what was connected to the stone. You don't find, most of the time, especially in the Northeast, you don't find what the stone was used on. So in experimental archaeology, you're trying to figure out how the stone tool was used in history. So I know an archaeologist who does use wear analysis, and if you look on here, you see these edges here that are napped, they are flaked. You'd say, so they took an antler and touched that all up to sharpen it. Now the use wear analysis shows where it was used and dulled. Like how when I use my stone knives on video, they get dull. You could see where it dulled on the tool, and that helps determine like what it was used for. You could tell if it was used on bone or wood or on meat, because a meat or a hide will polish the edge, whereas a bone will crush the edge really bad, and the wood will just add more chipping and dull it. So I think since I found such a small piece of flint at the creek before, that maybe I will show how to make an end scraper. It'll look like that. So stick around after we're done eating, and I'm gonna go fishing a little bit. I'm gonna drag her down to the lake. I gotta go to the lake. After that, I think I'm gonna make one of these. It's an end scraper. Now, on archaeological sites, especially Paleo-Indians, these were really abundant, and they really needed these to work, to shape their tools, to make their clothes and their hides, like heavy jackets and whatever they needed to survive the Ice Age, was super important. It's like a multi-tool. So I'm going to show you how to make that, I think. So stick around. After I fish, I'm going to show you how to make a scraper. That's good. Okay. Fishing. I'm going to just try to fish for a little bit and take it easy. See if I catch anything. So one of the things about this lake is it's crystal clear. The other thing about this is when the sun is above, just coming straight down, this water is bright blue. Looked like somebody photoshopped a ridiculous colored blue on the lake. She's recording underwater shots. There's a rainbow trout down there apparently. I'm not getting any bites, surprisingly, but I'm enjoying it. She's pretty far out, and it's shallow, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get something.
awesome. Check out the sunset.
Not even a nibble. Back at camp, and I'm having some chunky salsa. Chunky salsa. Learned this from Lestrade. Take a minute to ignite. Check out that chip. Those things burn for a while. They're good fire starters.
Is that because of the oil?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. So we ran out of light. We were fishing for quite a while, trying to catch something, but no good. But I'm glad I'm here. It's always really peaceful here. I was not expecting to see Flint and Chert all over the place up here. Just random places I stopped. And it's actually pretty good stuff. But on with that, I'm going to use some of that chert to make the end scraper, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. We ran out of light. When we got to the campfire here, when we got it all set up and going, there was a bunch of coyotes back in the woods screaming, and the frogs started singing in the swamp right out over there. Before I heard a bunch of splashing in the water too. It's real weird, really great there. Sound like a deer running through the water or something.
Might be the anarchist beaver.
Maybe. Doubtful. The anarchist deer swims with the beaver. Last time I was here, I really felt really special about this place. I was really enjoying myself and felt really happy. And then I got sick on the last day I was here and had to go to the hospital and all that stuff. That's in older videos. But I'm really glad to be back here and feeling pretty good this time. Something about that water out there, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of lakes around me at home, and I don't sit and stare at them like I do here. There's all kinds of bunnies running around, and I think they're called pine squirrels. One threw a crab apple at me before out of that tree. It bounced off my shoulder and landed on the ground. And then he screamed like he was really angry. It was really strange. It's a different kind of squirrel. They look different. They make all different kinds of sounds, and they carry giant pine cones in their mouths. It looks ridiculous. Yeah.
What was that?
It's okay, we're safe. Don't even have to throw it at the bear. Just runs away, sees the banana, runs. Shake a banana at a bear.
Just don't throw a bear at a banana.
Don't throw a bear at a banana.
But throw a
Don't
banana.
do shit. Throw the banana at the bear, it might still eat you. Oh man, I'm getting tired. Sleep. So I didn't have the tent cover on and it started raining and it hit me right on the back of my neck and my back while I was sleeping, and it freaked me out. It was freezing cold rain, so I started yelling to Leah, "Get the thing! Get the thing!" And she just started freaking out and screaming. She went, "Ah! What? Ah!" Like that. But I think I yelled pretty loud. Okay, I'm going back to sleep. Good night. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm fishing stuff. I'm gonna try to catch something before Leah wakes up. I like getting up early because there's usually absolutely nobody at the water. Hopefully I'll get something. A little bit wavy today. No, still no luck in here. Guess I'll try the, there's a creek around the corner behind me. And then there's another pond over there that I'm gonna try. I think I would catch anything. Check this guy out. Man, there he is. Alright, gonna toss him back. That's pretty cool. I caught him right in here on that bridge. Cool. First fish, tiny guy. First fish, yeah. That was kind of small. I've never caught one of this before. I think it was a rock bass. I'm gonna try some more later. Almost back at the campsite. Ah, man, this place is wonderful. 360. Whoa, busy now. So last night, I talked about making an end scraper today. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. If you're into primitive technology, primitive skills, you're definitely gonna wanna know how to make one of these. One of the things you want is a pretty thick piece of flint, because your end scraper has to be a very thick flake with steep edges. So I got this yesterday while I was looking around for flint. And this is a good piece because how flat this is, it'll make it easier. If I hit in right here, I should be able to get this whole flake off. So what you want to do is support this really strong, squeeze, and you find a ledge that's going to provide a very steep, thick flake. What I'm going to have to do is just break off these corners, and it should be about that wide. Try to be very gentle. Just to shape the back end. So what I was just doing was shaping the bottom end, because the back end is usually thin and then with that steep ridge at the top. Now if you compare here, it's getting pretty close. So I'm just thinning this a little. I'm gonna use a indirect method. Alright, so now we got the basic shape. Take an antler, and push in, and flake down. how I popped the flake off there. And then they would do the next one. All the way across. Where I put those flakes across is a flat edge. And that's what you want. Now it's sharp. So we took this flake off here. You could see where it met up. And that's kind of the angle you're looking for when you make these. When it peels up like that, you have that working edge for the hide scraping. You could use it on wood, you could use it on bone, you could use it on hides. These were one of the most important pieces of a Paleo-Indian toolkit from 12,000, 11,000 years ago. You might think it looks very unassuming and small, but this is one of their most important tools. This is how they kept themselves warm. This is how they made their clothes. This is how they shaped their tools. And this is called a end scraper. We didn't even start the damn flint trip yet. Getting ready to head out here. Knapping stuff, adventure bag, fishing poles, and a bunch of stuff in the back. Just gotta load up the clothes, the camping stuff, the tent, and then we'll probably get to our campsite at like 9 tonight. It took all day to get ready. So this trip here right now is kind of like a prelude to the Flint trip. The Flint trip itself is going to be in Vermont. What I'm doing right now is I'm just taking a few days to take it easy, relax after the whole lockdown thing. I'm going back to the spot where I left off in the last videos at my favorite campgrounds, that really beautiful lake. Saw this and I pulled off. This water is like, wow. I just wanted to show you guys how beautiful this lake is. It's unbelievable to me. I love this lake. I'm just gonna hang out there for 3 nights and then make my way up to Vermont. I needed some time to camp and just relax and wind down. Alright guys, I just got to the camp here. I'm really tired. I'm exhausted. I had a long drive. So I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm gonna go to sleep. Have a good one. So, we left last night at 7 p.m. and I wasn't going to start the Flint trip yet. I was going to go camping for a few days just to relax. We got to the first campsite and it was full, so we tried to sleep in the car and I was just really uncomfortable and really ramped up, I think because I had some of her super coffee. But I couldn't sleep, so she was just about asleep, just falling asleep. I was like, come on, let's go. I'm looking for rocks. So I stopped at this creek here. We drove over that bridge. Saw our way down here, and I figured I would stop because I thought there might be something in here. I'm looking along and I see a lot of the sandstone stuff. What's this? Looks like it'll flake. Give it a try. Look at that. Some kind of black flint. I'm not sure what that is. I'll keep that though. One for the effort at least. Interesting black flint. I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna have to look into this area and see if I could get a name. This is like a wide, shallow creek, and there's a bunch of crows out there. It's a really pretty spot. Any fish in there? So this here is called lady's thumb, this plant here, and it's related to a plant, it's called smartweed, and Paleo-Indians 12,000 years ago used it as a spice in their food, peppery. So I have not found smartweed anywhere yet. This is still lady's thumb. But when I find some smartweed, I'm gonna try it and taste it. Limestone. This is a good sign. There's stuff around. This is a piece of limestone. And usually when you find limestone chunks like that, there is flint nearby. So, somewhere around here, maybe up there, washing down. Here's a piece. Thin piece. So limestone, flint, chert. I'll show you on the edge here. See how shiny that is there? This would be good for like a flint and steel. If you have the steel, you could hit this against it, it'll create a spark.
So this is kind of fun. This plant is actually called knapweed, and one of its medicinal uses is to stop bleeding. It's got these very distinctive little flower heads.
I'm tired. I didn't sleep yet. It's like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Don't really know where I am. Pretty mountains, and I don't know.
Good morning, sunshine.
I'm not lost. Nope. Which was way back? Oh. So this is literally the only piece on this whole stretch. I walked all the way down to that bridge and the old hotel there. That's haunted, by the way. There's people watching me from the top window. It's empty. Not really empty, but it's empty. Spooky. This stuff here is very similar to this, if you look at it. See how the outside's very similar? But then this up here is called, I don't know how to pronounce it, chalcedony. And that I've not found around here anywhere. So that's a first.
Cool.
It's white.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's usually kind of translucent, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, let me, here's another piece right here. This is the, that stuff, though. Let's just check this. Not Onondaga. Okay. I'm gonna take a little piece off. Yeah, that's chalcedony. This is almost like a, I would call it like a flint ridge type material, this white stuff. I had a big blade of the white chalcedony from Flint Ridge, from Nether's farm, and I made a blade for the Wood Beardsman and gave it away as a gift on his channel.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
that's the only piece I ever got of that.
It was that giveaway contest.
Yeah.
Where you had Easter eggs hidden.
Yep. So this is the same kind of stuff from that knife. One's in Ohio, one's here. Oh, man. I need to sleep at some point. I was just testing this piece because I saw this little tiny shiny.
Whoa, hello.
Look at this. It's got limestone in it, but it's a lot of flint. And it's white on the outside. What the hell is this? Okay. Looks similar to this. This is more crystally. This is fine grained. So this is like a bunch of different stuff here apparently. Cool. So I lied about this being the only piece here. There's actually a bunch. I just wasn't looking at it because it's white. I was looking for this, not that. We didn't even start the damn Flint trip yet. How does this happen? So, anyway, I'm going to go relax. I need to sleep. And we still got a lot to do. This isn't even the Flint trip yet. So, I gotta sleep. I gotta sleep.
Bridge to nowhere.
Just stopped at a little roadside stop here along the way, and this is a tree fossil. It's 380 million years old. It is the oldest tree fossil found in the world. They have an artist's drawing here of what it would have looked like. You could see this thick base going up to a trunk. You could see right here. Here's the thick base going up to what would have been the trunk. Crazy. Look at all these critters here. Bears. Porcupine, fisher cat. That's all on the trail cam here. Here's this cat. People probably want to see the bobcat the most. Flint. 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 Used as gravel. Damn. Let's just call the gravel company and see where they're blasting.
Yeah, right? It is everywhere, look. There's a piece. There's a piece. There's a piece.
This is that stuff that I just found.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hear the waterfall. Getting close.
So, like, once you get an idea of where flint is, it's not too hard to find it. I mean, it's everywhere around here, apparently.
The more time you spend doing this, you get an eye for it too. Danger.
There's a nice waterfall view. Smell that? What is that?
It smells good, whatever it is.
I've never smelled that before.
It smells like... It's almost like cucumber.
Yeah, like a citrus cucumber or something.
Yeah, what is that?
Whoa.
Did you get vertigo?
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
Wow.
I saw the water there and it goes down.
That's a drop. Holy shit.
We gotta bleep that.
Bleep. Wow, you can't tell how steep it is.
Blood rot. You see how that limestone is pouring out from the wall right there? That pile? Now the next big flood that comes through is going to wash that downstream. And if there's flint in the limestone, it'll wash out like that, and that's how you find the cobbles and bricks of it, way downstream.
Oh, wow. That is a straight drop. It looks like a little puddle, but that's... I don't know how to show you how steep this is.
Just another pit stop, random stop, and just wanted to show you what vertigo looks like.
Vertigo, a feeling of dizziness, a swimming in the head. Figuratively, a state in which all things seem to be engulfed in a whirlpool of terror.
I look up, I look down, I look up, I look...
I don't think that'll come out on camera how high up we are. Is this shaking? Stop! I'm out. I'm done.
Bye, waterfall.
So I napped this from some of that rock. Gnarly looking stuff. Huge chunks.
Is there?
Yeah.
That means it's probably in the creek.
Big fish just jumped. I don't know if you got that on camera or not. We're still heading to the campground, but I decided to stop here. And I found what looks to be a giant piece of flint here. We'll give it a test and see how it looks. Let's try this edge. It's not high quality, but it'll nap. I'm gonna bring it with me to experiment with Looks more limestone than chert to me. Okay. This esopus in here, little bits of it. Little tiny. I'm gonna try cracking it open. Usually if it's high quality stuff, it rings like a bell. Let's see. It smells like sparks.
I smelled that too.
Nah, I'm not going to be able to get into this piece too easily. But there's a little bit right there.
Just found some fossils. Is a seashell?
So we're at the campground finally, and Leah fell asleep. We're waiting to check in, and can't check in until 2, so I'm gonna go down to the water. Yep, I'm gonna do that right now. So I took a hike and found this. Look at that. I'm up on a big hill here, and I still can't capture how awesome this water is. You can see the rocks under it clearly. You can't get the color. It's like neon green, blue, clear, crazy. That's my lake. Here, I'm gonna just try to fish for a little bit and take it easy. See if I catch anything. So we're all set up. Just gonna make ourselves some New England clam chowder again. Read my book.